A huge update has dropped on the Stadia community blog. In fact, is finally the autumn of gaming, because we are here in the month of September. And even though we technically have a couple weeks of summer left, September is shaping up to be a very big month that's going to surround Stadia in a bunch of news. And it starts off with a crap load of games that just dropped on us. So if you are new to the channel and you want updates just like this one, don't forget to click subscribe, turn that bell notification on so you stay up to date with new content right here on this channel. And speaking of new content, this Friday we have the 11th episode of the Stadia Initiative, which times in perfectly for one of the biggest releases of the Stadia platform to this point, happening, well, just in the last 24 hours, where you'll join myself, Eddie of Eddie Player One, Chase of Stadia Talk, Meg from Megatron X, Germani, also known as 64, right here on YouTube, and of course MM2K of Stadia Dosage. We get together every other Friday, talk about the latest and greatest in and around the world of Google Stadia. And also, if you could do me a favor, drop a like on this video, because it does help other people find this channel just like you did. Now, a lot of things have dropped, obviously, as I was saying, and what we're going to talk about today is because we just hit the first of the month, which means we got a brand new slate of Stadia Pro games. But you know what? We just talked about the Stadia Initiative, and the reason we kind of named that is because we all like the Avengers, and we kind of come together like the Avengers, and we assemble every other Friday. And of course, I myself am super excited for this game that just dropped. I've gotten about an hour or so with the game so far. Of course, work gets in the way of everything when it comes to gaming, but I enjoy what I've played so far. I enjoyed the beta as well, so I'm looking forward to getting right into that game. But one of the big things coming out of this is that a part of the launch for Marvel's Avengers, Stadia was getting 3 days early access, just like the other consoles, if you happen to pick up the deluxe digital edition. And with that, not only are you getting 3 days early access and the extra stuff that comes with it, you are also going to get the pre-order bonuses. So if you were on maybe the PlayStation or over on the Xbox, you were able to get pre-order bonuses, where on Stadia you really can't pre-order entirely just yet. I mean, you can with Destiny 2's Beyond Light collection coming up, and eventually Hitman 3 is apparently going to get some pre-orders, but Avengers did not have pre-orders available on Stadia. But it seems to be the common theme that if you happen to pick up a game within the first 2 weeks on Stadia, you will happen to get the pre-order bonuses as well, just like what Windbound just did the other day. So Marvel's Avengers has shown up. The only way to get it at this moment until Friday is paying $80, however, for it. Fortunately for me, I have a lot of Google Play credit built up through the Play Points system that they got going on. If you don't know what that is about, hit me up on Twitter. I'll tell you all about it. I believe it's only for America only. I'm sorry, but I saved $15 from that, so that was really cool. But of course, you can just jump right into Marvel's Avengers any possible way. All you have to do is click buy and you are in. Super awesome, especially considering how data heavy this game is, including an 18 gigabyte day one patch. You definitely probably want to think about picking it up on Stadia, because it's going to be the quickest, easiest way to play the game. And of course, you can manipulate frame rates and resolution as well. So if you don't want to pick up the deluxe edition, which is $79.99, you can wait until Friday when it comes out proper, and that you can get the $59.99 price range. But including Friday, because this is a big week for gaming, and me personally, it's a big week because I'm a huge Avengers fan. I am also a huge sports fanatic, so NBA 2K21 absolutely interests me. But I mean, elsewhere, of course, Tony Hawk Pro Skaters Remastered is coming out as well, so it's gonna be a very expensive week for me, unfortunately. But let's talk about the game that is coming to Stadia, and that's NBA 2K21. As far as we know, and I did a video on this a little while back, is that we're getting the current generation version. So we're not getting the extra modes and the super quick load times, even though NBA on Stadia last year had no problem loading pretty decently fast. But you can pick up the normal version on Friday. There's no early access with this one on Stadia. I don't think the other consoles do either. But you can pick that up at normal price, $60. And then, of course, you can get the Kobe Bryant Memorial Edition, Mamba Forever Edition, which includes some extra bonus DLC for the microtransaction side of NBA 2K. I won't get into the microtransaction part on sports games, but let's move on. So Hitman 2, before we get into the Stadia Pro games, has joined the Stadia library, and it does come with a pro discount right away, which is awesome. So tomorrow, tomorrow is going to be when this video launches for me. But as this video is now out public to you guys, the typical sales that we had for the last week or so are going to be gone. Hitman 2 will have a sale currently, as it's a $30 price point for brand new for Stadia Pro users, and then $35.99 for non-pro users. And of course, that's not the only Hitman game coming. And we got Hitman Complete first season, so that's the very first in the World of Assassination trilogy. And by the way, the Hitman games are going to all be in one little app within Stadia. So when you look on your home screen, you might see where it says Hitman World of Assassinations. We're going to be able to play all 3 games. So it's kind of cool that Hitman, or IOI, I think I'm saying that right. IOI. It's a mouthful. They've consolidated down to one clickable button. So how Stadia is just not doing anything with that UI. By the way, that is one of my biggest complaints about Stadia is the UI across everything. Move on. We'll move on. Super Bomberman are online, and we're going to talk about this in a moment because there's some good things about this update, but this is the bad one. But Super Bomberman are online, comes with a 64 Battle Royale mode, but we'll get to that in a second. Gunsport is a game that we've been talking about for a while now, but we weren't sure when it was coming because Gunsport was pretty much I wouldn't say dead on arrival, but kind of in developmental hell, if you will, until Google stepped in and they kind of paid a pretty penny for that first on Stadia exclusive. So Gunsport was able to be finished up and released. Hello Neighbor is it's a horror title. I haven't been able to play it as some other people might have. In fact, all these titles I haven't played before, so these are all brand new to me personally, which is awesome. Metro Last Light, I've been saying this plenty of times. I've been wanting to get into the Metro series, and the fact that I have all of them for free on Stadia is super awesome. And then Ember Early Access, we talked about this a little while ago that some people might be a little miffed that they spent $20 on kind of helping out with the early access part of it, and now people are getting it for free. That being said, they've had months with it, so if they really, really like the game, they've had this much time with it. They've probably gotten through everything they wanted to at this point. But outside that is your pro lineup. Of course, free play days are back, so this is the second free weekend for Stadia members. Of course, you have to be a Stadia Pro subscriber, and what you'll be able to do is starting on Thursday and ending almost Sunday midnight, you'll be able to play The Crew 2 for absolutely free. I would assume we're going to see an Ubisoft sale this weekend. Typically when you do these kind of free weekends, a sale is also attached to it, so you can kind of get those impulse buys. So it's a good move right here. And that's not it, folks. One Hand Clapping is getting a new update with hours of additional content. This was announced a couple days ago by Handy Games, who does One Hand Clapping, and it's still available for just $2.99. Now that price can always increase, but if you get $2.99, you're locked in, and as soon as this game gets to its full potential, that's all you'll have spent is $3, which is an awesome entrance to a new game. And then, of course, Stadia Premier Edition is now a little bit cheaper. Up until September 10th, starting on Friday, you can pick up the Premier Edition, which includes Chromecast Ultra, the Stadia controller, and 3 months of Stadia Pro, and you'll be able to pick that up between those 6 days, I do believe. Yes, those 6 days. I don't know why I said that like it was a question. If I remember right, I might want to back up there. I don't know if Stadia Pro is still included with that. If I remember correctly, it absolutely is, but if it isn't, let me know in the comment section down below. But you will be able to save about $10 on the game, on the bundle within the Google Play Store, and you'll be able to do that starting Friday. So, big update, and let's talk about the bad stuff, shall we? Because Super Bomberman R Online was announced during the Connect, right? And one of the big features, part of it, is something called Crowdplay. If you're unfamiliar with Crowdplay, it's like the only feature we've really talked about on this channel, but I'll give you a quick abridged version. It's essentially a feature for YouTubers to use to be able to make it a one-click stop to have your audience join you playing a game. It appears in the bottom underneath your chat where it says join queue, and you'll be immediately joined. Now, the only people that currently have access to using Crowdplay with, as far as I know, Mortal Kombat and Super Bomberman R Online are the folks that had the ability to do it beforehand with Mortal Kombat 11. So off the top of my head, Kareem Jovian and Juggernaut are the two I'm aware of. Of course, there may be a couple others as well, but those are the only ones that have it currently. Now, this is a problem, at least in my eyes, because during the Connect, it was an advertised feature for the game and the trailers. Now, why you put that or allow it to be put in there and know that it's not going to be available when it comes out, of course you know you have the Stadia Pro deal already lined up at that point. don't include that in there. That would have been a great thing to attach into this blog. Now, of course, for whatever reason, Google hasn't been public about these select streamers getting Crowdplay access. They have not said one word, which I don't understand. I know it's a beta of sorts, but at the same time, you want to show off this feature, right? So why aren't you showing off that it exists for these select YouTubers? So if you got these scheduled events, just kind of put it in there. Go subscribe to this channel. Go subscribe to this channel. See how Crowdplay works. Jump in and play, as it will be a feature coming to Stadia soon. And I just don't think they should be advertising that, especially if Dead by Daylight shows up in a week or 2 or 3, whenever it shows up this month, and Crowdplay and CrowdChoice don't appear for anyone to use. That's also a terrible move, because that spent a lot of time within that trailer during the Connect. So if it's not going to be available for everyone to use, just simply don't put it in there. And I know the developers want to show off that these features are part of it, but Stadia is obviously vetting these exact trailers to appear in their Connect. So they need to kind of vet that and say, okay, we can't let you advertise that because it's not going to be ready when it comes out for our platform. I don't know. I mean, maybe you might be on the other side of this. So let me know in the comment section down below if this is really not a big deal. As for me, most of my live streams take place over on Twitch, so this doesn't really bother me too much from a streamer aspect, but from someone covering this platform and just witnessing this terrible marketing communication, and I've hated talking about communication when it comes to Stadia ever since like February. So trust me, I'm as tired of talking about it as you were tired of listening to it. But that being said, if you are new to the channel, again, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you think that, Crowdplay, big deal, whatever, it is what it is. Or if you're like, Google needs to shut up about it until it's ready. All right, don't put it in a Connect. Don't put it in a Connect. All right, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, I want to thank you for your support as always. Again, this Friday, Stadia Initiative's 11th episode will take place. 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. We'll see you there. Thank you, and party on.